level they're at. I don't care what their backgrounds are, what their ethnicity is. A teacher can affect and make a big difference, and we have found that out. So over the years, we've eliminated some teachers, but we keep going until we get those quality, top-notch teachers that can motivate students, that know their subject matter, they care about their students, that are passionate about their subject area, that teach students, just like he was saying, how to think, how to learn, and then take pride in it. And that's what our school is all about. I'm not saying we have all the answers, because I'm not saying we do, but I will tell you this, without the school choice that we have going on, and that's what's going to turn eventually this big ship around, is when we have parents with the ability to have vouchers, to have school choice, so they can choose where their sons and daughters are educated. And it's going to take, just like he was talking about, it's going to take people making a difference on the local school boards. And that's very, very important. And I applaud you, because the Tea Party, you're more involved, and you have friends and neighbors and people you talk to, and that's what it's going to take. People that aren't afraid to get involved, and I applaud you for that. Just a couple other things that I would like to point out. Again, and since 1992, a couple of things. Like I said, 20 years later, the state of California is a leader in the charter school movement. A couple other little facts here that I wanted to point out to you is that the whole purpose behind the charter school movement originally was to have less bureaucracy, free you up. The volumes and volumes of ed code that you were talking about, to sit up there in Sacramento, the deal back in 1992, we're going to free you up from those things. We're going to allow you to innovate. We're going to allow you to let the teachers do the job and make sure they're doing a great job in the classroom. We're going to free you up from those volumes. In exchange for that, we're going to hold you accountable, though. If you're not doing a job, as a charter school, you can be closed down. And I like that challenge. To me, that's an entrepreneur. You're starting a business. If you can't attract the customers and then do a great job of holding on to those customers and making sure you're doing what you say you're going to do, in our school, they can go anywhere they want to. They choose to be there. They're not there because of a district boundary. Like the public schools, you have no choice. You got to go to that particular school. So I like that entrepreneurship of it. That's why I got involved in it. I love that challenge, because every year we have to prove ourselves over and over again. And as a football coach, you can win the Super Bowl, but what does everybody want the next year for you? Do it again. All right, you won it last year, so what? Well, that's how I look at what we're doing. Every year we got to prove ourselves, and we got to try to do it better. We got to try to improve. We're not going to become complacent, and that's what we try to do. I don't want our teachers to settle in. I don't want myself settling in. When I find myself settling in, it's time for me to get out. And that's the type of atmosphere we want to have. We want to have a team approach to it. I want a group of teachers that know why they're there. They believe in our philosophy. They have high expectations. And we're all on the same page of what we expect of our students. And when you put that team together and you're on that same page, it's amazing what can be accomplished. And it's proven time and time again. After we started our high school part of it, we also started a K-8 school in 2003. We now have 800 people on a waiting list to get into our K-8 school, because they're searching. They want a small school setting. They want high standards. They want high expectations. They want their sons and daughters to get a good education and be prepared to go to college if they choose to. And that's our whole philosophy, preparing them to go to college. Not that everybody's going to go to college. Some of them will go into the trade, some will go into the military, but we want them to at least have that option, because I saw so many students that went through the schools that I was at that were never prepared. They got to their senior year after 12 or 13 years in our public school system that weren't prepared to even go to our community colleges. A report just came out now, just to give you an idea what happens in education here in California. The SAT, S-A-T, Scholastic Aptitude Test, that kind of gives you an indication of our students prepared to go to college. 1.6 million students in the state of California took that test. It kind of gives you an indication of how well they're doing. Are they ready to go on to college? Only 43% of the students that took that test scored at a level to be prepared to take a college level class. That means 57% of the students in the state of California that took the SATs were not prepared to take a college level reading, writing, or math class. 57%. After spending billions and billions of dollars over the course of their lives in public education, they weren't prepared. And what happens to those students that aren't prepared? They either go to a community college where they take remedial courses that cost you, the taxpayers, billions of dollars, or they go to the Cal State University system where it costs them billions of dollars to remediate them before they're even ready to take a college level class. Our goal is to make sure when they graduate from Escondido Charter High School that they're prepared to take a college level class. That's our ultimate goal. So think about that. 57% of the students not prepared to take the college level class, and the amount of money that costs us. First of all, you got to ask yourself, I was reading a great article here just recently where the guy asked the question, why are they going to the Cal State system then if they're not prepared to take a college level class? Good question. It's about money. And so we're spending billions and billions of dollars. The biggest part of any state's budget is what?